Hi, quick moment to say how much I appreciate you guys watching and supporting this channel. We've hit 50 subscribers, which is insane. And yeah, let's get right into this video. So ENTPs, they have so much wit, humor, and sarcasm that they can use on people, which can be so effective at times, but also it has the potential for people to take it as kind of an insult if they criticize other people. So that's why I'm putting in A tier, because it won't necessarily work on all the types. With ESTJs, they probably do have a solid few pickup lines and stuff, which can very much work for them and be effective, but generally, unless they kind of let their creativity shine more, it's going to be quite stale and not have the same level of creativity that you'd get from like an ENTP, which is why I'm going to put them in a beta. With INTJs, they are like amazing at coming up with this really targeted lines at you. They've got this quiet confidence in the room that without even saying anything, you just have this energy that you can just tell they're there, and it's amazing to see. But the reality is they probably won't actually execute all of these lines they've come up with, and if they do, there's a chance that their performance is kind of bad, and it's like, yeah, trying to get the connection between what they've got in their head and reality is so tough for INTJs. But if you try it, well done. Like, we need to try it more. ISFPs, honestly, they're not the best at coming up with great lines, and they'll probably tell you the cheesiest lines out there. But what works for them is just their genuineness and authenticity. Like, you'll probably love them for it anyway, just because of how much they're willing to just go for it, which is why I'm going to put them in an S tier, to be honest. With ENTJ, they have such charisma and confidence, and it's just astounding to see. And yeah, I guess they're just so direct with their approach that I'm going to put them in an S tier, just because they are like the example of how you do it, basically. With ENFP, it's a tough one. It's kind of a bit chaotic all over the place. They'll kind of, I think, accidentally use insane amounts of Rizz, but they kind of don't understand it or know how to control it, which is why I'm going to put them in the middle with a beta. With ISFPs, yeah, they can say really, really sweet stuff, and like, it's not fake. They genuinely mean it, which can be quite cool to see, but it's not always really working in the same way as Rizz. So it's kind of, I'm going to put them in a C tier, just because it's not really what Rizz is about. With INFP, honestly, there's just incredible potential here. Their sort of idealization and romanticization of stuff, they could literally write you a poem and it'd be insane. But the problem is, kind of similar to the INTJ's problem, most of this probably doesn't actually occur in reality, and it's kind of just going on in the head, which is why it's an A tier. With INTP, yeah, INTPs have a lot of talents. Human interaction probably isn't one of them. They've got this kind of awkward, nerdy Rizz, which can kind of sometimes work for them, but yeah, I'm sure Rizz just sort of F tier. It's kind of, yeah. ISFJs, beta, honestly, they've got this like solid, polite, conventional Rizz that can very much work for them a lot of the time. The issue is they probably won't try anything too exceptional, and yeah, they kind of standard, pretty good. But ISFJs, I'm going to put them in a C tier, just because I don't think this is really where ISFJs shine. They're not so great at initiating like an ENTJ would be. They're better at responding to other people, which is like why I don't think them approaching someone necessarily would work out great for them. But like, in terms of responding, they're amazing, probably the best type. With ISTPs, yeah, it's the same situation as INTPs. They just aren't really gonna do it very well. They've got this kind of I don't care energy to them, and they're probably trying to push people away a lot of the time instead of trying to interact with them. But kind of paradoxically, this can kind of work out for them, because it's kind of, they've got this cool vibe to them. But yeah, INFJs, this is another tough one. Basically, I'd say INFJs are just an insane wingman type. They kind of have this intrinsic knowledge about relationships and connection dynamics, but when it comes to themselves and actually being in the spotlight, I think that's where they really struggle, which is why I'm going to put them in a beta. With ICJs, yeah, they've kind of, they're quite standard. I'd say a lot of the time they're quite awkward, but they can sort of occasionally say sort of quite solid things, but generally not so much, which is why I'm going to put them in the CETA. With ESTPs, honestly, definite Esther, no question asked. They're just so quick on their feet, and they have just the smoothest pickup lines. I'd say this is really where an ESTP shines. Yeah. Finally, ENFJs are going to go in ETA just because they're masters of navigating social situations, and they'll always kind of know what needs to be said. They can just give the perfect compliments, and that's great. Issue is sometimes it'll end up turning into some kind of therapy session, which doesn't really count as Rizz. So that's why ETA. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and hopefully I'll see you next time.